What the president proposed this evening could lead to one of the most radical turnabouts of our time in strategic nuclear policy, and we will spend most of this broadcast trying to put that extraordinary proposal into some kind of perspective. But when the president went on television this evening to talk about the Soviet military buildup and the need for an increased U.S. defense budget, he was doing so within minutes of a decisive rejection by the House of Representatives. They had just cut his proposed defense spending increase by more than half. So the president tonight was talking not only about his adversaries overseas, but those here at home, too. And when his proposal for a space-age defense system against Soviet ballistic missiles gets a full airing, the controversy is going to get bigger and certainly more complicated. As we suggested earlier, and as Jack Smith now reports, the president's plan represents a revolutionary change in U.S. nuclear strategy.
For over a generation, nuclear strategy has been governed by the theory of mutual assured destruction. A balance of terror in which the two superpowers have held each other's civilian populations hostage to mass destruction, each too scared of the other's retaliatory power to attack first. In the arcane world of nuclear thinking, it was offensive nuclear weapons that promoted stability. Defensive weapons, like the anti-ballistic missile, which lessened the danger of reprisal, upset the balance of terror, and so were considered provocative and destabilizing. But tonight, President Reagan turned 30 years of strategic thinking on its head.
Let me share with you a vision of the future which offers hope. It is that we embark on a program to counter the awesome Soviet missile threat with measures that are defensive. Let us turn to the very strengths in technology that spawned our great industrial base and that have given us the quality of life we enjoy today. What if free people could live secure in the knowledge that their security did not rest upon the threat of instant U.S. retaliation to deter a Soviet attack, that we could intercept and destroy strategic ballistic missiles before they reached our own soil or that of our allies?
The president said he was launching a massive research effort to develop space-age weapons that would bring down or incapacitate Soviet missiles before they reached the U.S. This, the president claimed, would secure the U.S. against nuclear attack and eventually make nuclear weapons themselves obsolete.
I know this is a formidable technical task, one that may not be accomplished before the end of this century. Yet current technology has attained a level of sophistication where it's reasonable for us to begin this effort.
Neither the president nor his advisors tonight made clear how this effort would be accomplished. No new funds, for instance, are being sought for the research program in next year's budget. But aides did make clear what technology the president was talking about. The Pentagon already spends $1 billion a year for research on high-energy particle beam generators and lasers, which it hopes to perfect by the end of the century. These could down incoming Soviet ICBMs or, fired from satellites, knock them out as they rose from their silos. White House aides say research on such space-age weapons does not violate the existing ABM treaty. In fact, the Russians are busy developing the same weapons themselves. Nevertheless, in saying the U.S. should build defensive and not offensive weapons, the president is proposing what nuclear planners have rejected for years. The anti-ballistic missile, or ABM, was scrapped by Washington in the 1970s precisely because it might work. Why? Because if either side felt safe from attack, that made nuclear war more acceptable and therefore more probable. Elaborate Soviet civil defense plans now inspire U.S. strategic thinkers with the same worry. If Russia can really protect its population from nuclear attack, that threatens the U.S. For if the Soviets believe they can withstand a U.S. strike, they may attack first. The president tonight said he understood there were dangers in his proposal.
I clearly recognize that defensive systems have limitations and raise certain problems and ambiguities. If paired with offensive systems, they can be viewed as fostering an aggressive policy, and no one wants that.
No one wants it, but the president tonight didn't make clear just why the Soviets should not view his proposal with alarm. For in the nuclear game, one man's defense is another man's danger, and Moscow may see tonight's address as both destabilizing and provocative. This is Jack Smith for Nightline at the White House.